Welcome back to Eddie B TV. I am, of course, Eddie B. Nice to see y'all. And we are back at you again today with another reaction video. My itches, let me take care of that. And on Random Sunday today, got a couple of clips for you today. And first one we're going to get started with is some George Carlin today. Now, I just did George Carlin recently, one of his stand-up bits from Life is Worth Losing, that special. But this isn't a comedy special that I'm going to be, a comedy special clip that I'm going to be reacting to today anyway. Friend of mine who knows I'm a big George Carlin fan asked me if I'd ever seen this before, and I did not. And he made an appearance in 1997 at the National Press Club. Now, I've heard of this National Press Club thing. I saw Louis Black do an appearance on this, and I'm not too familiar with it, but maybe it's just kind of like, in a way, it kind of feels like the White House Correspondents' Dinner or something. I mean, maybe a whole bunch of people speak and they probably just have a comedian as a guest or something. But that's what this looks like, because it's George Carlin's 1997 appearance at the National Press Club. And the title of this video is going to be called Racist and Politically Incorrect. Now, just the title of this alone sounds right up my alley. So, you know, I'm just going to see what this is all about. And just like I said, it's not a stand-up appearance or nothing like that. It just appears that he's speaking. I don't know for what reason, but we're going to find out. This one is, like I said, Racist and Politically Incorrect from George Carlin at the National Press Club. 1997. Gosh, man, I really like reading out all the titles, don't I? Okay, well, if you like this reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going. And yeah, let's just go ahead and get right into this one, man. George Carlin at the National Press Club, 1997, Racist and Politically Incorrect, here on Random Sunday, right here on Eddie B TV.
And you and I are on the same track. So let's visit that playground of guilty white liberals, the land of the politically correct. In recent years, the PC folks have found some new ways of shading the truth in order to make people feel better, especially minorities. One of the newer phrases making the rounds is happens to be. He happens to be black. I have a friend who happens to be black. Oh, I see, yes. Like it's an accident, you know.
This sounds familiar.
Happens to be black. Yes, he happens to be black. I see. He had two black parents? Yes, that's right, two black parents. Yes, I see. And they had sex? Oh, indeed they did.
Indeed.
I see. So where does the surprise part come in? I should think it would be more unusual if he just happened to be Scandinavian.
This is a bit from one of his specials.
Another favorite recently favorite term is openly gay. I have a friend who's openly gay, but that's the only minority they use that for. You know, you wouldn't say someone was openly black. Well, maybe James Brown. James Brown, yes. Or Louis Farrakhan. Louis Farrakhan is openly black.
Farrakhan.
Colin Powell is not openly black. Colin Powell is openly white. He just happens to be black.
I like how he messes with words in the language, man. It's amazing.
And while we're at it, when did the word urban become synonymous with the word black? Did I sleep through this, perhaps? Urban styles, urban trends, urban music. I was not consulted on this at all again. Didn't get an email, didn't get a fax, didn't get a postcard. That's fine, let them go.
I gotta look that up.
So, yeah. I would like to tell you how I handle some of these speech issues concerning minorities. First of all, I say black. I say black because most black people prefer black. I don't say people of color because it's dishonest. It means precisely the same thing as colored people, which is an insult. So if you're not willing to say colored people, you shouldn't be willing to say people of color. And besides, to me, the whole idea of color seems a bit specious, really. I mean, what should we call white people? People of no color? Isn't pink a color? And in fact, white people are not really white at all. They're different shades of pink and olive and beige. In other words, they're colored. And black people are rarely black. I see mostly various shades of brown and tan, and in fact, some light-skinned black people are darker than the darkest white people. I'm sorry, lighter than the darkest white people. Look how dark the people in India are. They're dark brown, but they're considered white. May I see the color chart, please? People of color is an awkward phrase that obscures meaning rather than enhancing it. What shall we call fat people? People of size? I also don't say African Americans. I find it cumbersome and confusing. Which part of Africa are we talking about? Egypt? Egypt is in Africa, but Egyptians aren't black. They're like the people in India. They're dark brown white people. But they're Africans. So why wouldn't an Egyptian citizen who becomes an Egyptian who becomes a U.S. citizen be called an African American? The same would apply to South Africa. Suppose a white racist from South Africa becomes an American citizen. Couldn't he call himself an African American? If for no other reason than just to bother black people. And what about a black person born in South Africa who becomes an American citizen? Is he an African American or is he a South African American? Or is he simply a South African American African American? It's just so much more tedious liberal labeling. Liberals should be taught that labels divide people, and I think we could probably do with fewer labels, not more. Now,
I'll get to that.
One more group, the Indians. I call them Indians because that's what they are. They're the Indians. There's nothing wrong with the word. First of all, it's important to know that Indian, that word probably does not derive from Columbus believing he had reached India in 1492. India was called Hindustan. More likely, the word derives from Columbus's description of the people he found here. He was an Italian who spoke very poor Spanish, and in his written accounts, he called the Indians una gente in Dios, a people in God. In God, in Dios, Indians. It's a perfectly noble thing. And I simply can't justify this awkward phrase, Native Americans. First of all, they're not natives. They came here from Asia over the Bering Land Bridge. In fact, there are no natives anywhere in the world. Everyone is from somewhere else. All people are refugees, immigrants, or aliens. If there are natives anywhere, it would have to be people still living in the Great Rift Valley in Africa. So everyone is just visiting. So much for native. As far as calling them Americans is concerned, well, how can I say this? We steal their hemisphere, destroy 500 cultures, kill 20 million, stick the rest of them on the worst land we can find, and then as a special bonus, we name them after ourselves. It's embarrassing. Oh. It's just embarrassing. The truth is, most Indians are insulted by the term Native American. The American Indian movement will tell you that. If you wish to please Indians, try calling them by their traditional names: Pawnee, Mohawk, Navajo, Seminole, and so on.
Oh, yeah, that's the end of that. Man, you know something, man? I know that I wasn't good in history class because history class just pissed me off every day. I had shit history teachers, didn't know how to teach a damn thing. But you know, it's just crazy, a couple of things that he said in there, because one thing is that, like, I'm mixed race, so obviously everyone looks at me and they get confused as to what I am. But the thing is that whenever I think about racial terms and then, you know, a certain other language, you know, that gets brought to my attention anyway, I often get very confused, you know, just like he was talking about here. Like, I don't say anything about any race of people pertaining to, like, the name of where they're from or something like that, you know what I mean? I really just speak as directly as possible. I never say anything African American. I never say that, like, ever. Never refer to any black person in America as African American. And if you are from Africa and you come to America, I don't call you an African American either. I just say you're African. I was like, okay, what part of Africa are you from? You know, and then, oh, okay, so you're from Somalia, or you're from Sudan, or you're from, you know, no matter where you're at, you know, it's just how it is, you know. And along that, you know, it's funny because Eddie Griffin pointed this out. If you ever watch some of his specials, Africa wasn't even the original name of Africa. You know, if I remember this, if I get this wrong, please somebody point it out to me, but it was called the Kiwalan. And then I was just like, when he said that, I was just like, okay, so who named it Africa? White people did, apparently. But maybe I got that wrong. Hopefully I got it right. I'm just going off what I hear. But, you know, it's just so many things that go on with different sides, you know, like the whole thing in America is if you lean left or right, right? If you're right, you pretty much don't want things to change, and if you're left, you want everything to change every day without warning, you know, and that's just kind of the bullshit stance that we're at here in this country. But it was just really interesting how he put that, you know what I mean? Because George, to all you guys who are George Carlin fans, George Carlin loved to dissect the language at every turn, every chance he could get. And that's where most of his best stand-up material came from. And of course he wrote a lot of books too, you know, and that's where he got most of the material for his books too. So, you know, it's very interesting how he put that. And the funniest thing that he said is that, one of the funniest things is that suppose a white racist from South Africa becomes an American citizen, he could say that he's African American, he's white. You know, and it's very interesting because that's 100% true. You know, like how would anyone really handle that? Of course, it's like one of those weird things that if it were to happen, nobody would address it directly. They would just have to like create some more stupid, politically correct language to, you know, to make sense out of that. But you know what? I like at the end how he said everyone is from somewhere else. So if you're one of these crazy, not all white people are crazy, let me just say that, but if you're one of these crazy white people who said, my country, go back to where you came from, well, that applies to you too, white people. If you're one of those types, you know. But yeah, man, that was George Carlin at the National Press Club in 1997. I was 12 years old at the time when that happened, and he's talking about racist and politically correct. So, you know, man, every time that I've never seen this from George, so it was just kind of weird just to hear him say, like, the first part of it was a bit from one of his stand-up specials that I recognized immediately, but the second part where he was talking about races and what to call everyone, that was new. I had never seen that before. So yeah, enough of the rambling, you know what I mean? And as far as like tedious liberal labeling, you know what I mean? Everyone wonders where trans people got from today, right? When the trans community is trying to get everyone to abide by their pronouns, right? And everyone wonders where they got it from. Well, interestingly, you got it from all of us. You got it from black people, you got it from white people, you got it from Indians, Mexicans, everywhere. Because everyone has a fucking name to call themselves, you know? And it's just very interesting to know that not even that much time has gone by in history and nobody really knows exactly, you know, where things come from, but everyone wants somebody to abide by something. It's very fucking strange, you know, but all right, enough rambling by me. That was George Carlin, once again with Racist and Politically Correct, from his appearance at the National Press Club in 1997. Gosh, titles are so long. And if you like that reaction, please like, comment, and subscribe to your boy. Keep everything going, like I said. And yeah, that was a very interesting clip. To my boy who suggested this, man, thanks for suggesting this for me, because he knows how much of a George Carlin fan I am, and that was very interesting to hear. And yeah, that's gonna be all she wrote for that. And it's gonna be Eddie B TV signing off. One more again on this one. Love and appreciate y'all. Peace.